legs.
You gotta get this leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice one.
And you went. No, this one went in front. Like that. And then this has to come over. Nope.
No,
You're
you went
on-
like this.
On the back.
You went through this way.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, so scoot this way. Scoot that way a little bit.
Yeah.
So you went this way. You're here. Here, you get them to there. And then you're going, yeah, to there.
And then hook this around my hip or my back and push that out.
That's nasty. So you're going here and then you're whoosh. One more of those for me. Oops, sorry. Kind of jabbed you in the nose. At least it wasn't your eye, but should be more careful in case it was. All right, you do one more, Spencer.
Grab here. I'm grabbing this
That one
right?
is the one I like to grab.
See? Yeah. Come here. That's kind of a funny movement, like when
I'll show you how I've been doing it.
I was like this,
Yeah.
right? You're here. This has to come,
Yeah. Back.
and then I can let that go.
Okay, so you're holding on longer than me.
Yeah. Boom.
So, let me see that spot.
This one.
Just turn to the side.
So
So
take.
you're here. You're like kind of keeping this for a while.
Yeah.
And then letting go and then shooting through.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And then now roll.
What are you doing?
I wasn't doing that, but I think I like that better. I was kind of here, and then I was just like coming up here and just going like that.
Just falling into it?
Yeah, but it's loose. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of opportunity that you could stick a hand in or put a defense in there while I'm coming up like that. But if I kind of keep this here, boom.
Yes.
We just finished up
The water bottle again.
at the Palm Springs Comic Con. We're on our way back now. We were there for like almost 3 days, 2.5 days, selling our strength monsters, world's deadliest, all my comics, my prints, everything like that. This was a brutal convention. Brutal. People were not spending money. Most of my comics, you know, we were trying to sell them for $5.
Yeah.
You would have thought that we were trying to get people to mortgage their home.
No.
But we did sell.
We did so.
But we had to hustle, dude. And luckily, my brother Henry was there with me, and he was hustling, getting people over to the table, getting people to look at our comics. And so we made sales, and I would say it was a successful convention. We made back what we spent on our table, but we were not in the black. The expense of the trip, we didn't make enough to cover all that. But I did not expect to. In fact, I anticipated that we would probably not even sell as much as we did. So I was pleasantly surprised about that.
Oh man, we blew past what I thought we would do.
Yeah, definitely we did. A couple of thoughts on the convention, a couple of things I was thinking about. Number one, one of the reasons why it's so hard is what we're selling, Strength Monsters and World's Deadliest, those are unique, one-of-a-kind comics that nobody's ever heard of because I made them all up. I made them myself. It's my own original content. And people that are going to these conventions, they have like an idea in their head like of what they want to get, what they're looking to buy. Either they're going because they want to look at stuff only because it's something to do. They're going because there's a specific character that they like that they want to get prints of that, or a specific genre. And one thing I can guarantee that nobody is going to this comic book in mind to buy my comics because they never even heard of my comics.
Nope.
So it's really, really difficult to get people to look at your comics and buy your comics. It's kind of like if you were in a band and you were trying to get people to listen to your demo album or listen to your music. It's like that.
I noticed with all the other comic book vendors, they all had Suicide Squad out and Deadpool, because those movies just came out. And like, I swear, 4 out of 5 people that were there were just showed up at this Comic-Con because it was happening. I don't think they ever, I think the vast majority do not own comics that showed up to that place and just thought Comic-Con is like going to see, you know, Captain America Civil War or something like that. Like, it's a fucking comic convention.
Yeah, they did have, like, Stan Lee was there. He did a panel. He did a bunch of stuff. With Todd McFarlane was there today. So those were the big draws. And there was a lot of people that went through. But it was a lot of the people, I think, were there. They're local to the valley here, the Coachella Valley. They're not really interested in comics, but they're just like, wow, this is a big event. It's something to do. And so they went. So it was really tough to sell, but we did. And the lesson, though, is like if we would have sat in our booth with our comics out and not said anything, just like some people give advice at these conventions that you don't really like say anything to people because it makes your booth too intimidating, that you should stay behind your booth and look like you're busy and people will feel more comfortable to come up and look at your stuff. That might be true if you're selling prints of like already established characters or stuff that people are already familiar with. But if you have your own original content that you're trying to get out there, that strategy will 100% not work. I tried it on Friday night. I was there by myself. I pretty much employed that strategy, and I think I made like 1 sale. The next day when my brother was there, we were stopping people. We were handing out free stickers. We were calling people over. We had the books open. We're telling people to look at them, and like that worked. We had people coming over looking at our books. They had no intention to buy it, and they walked away having bought the book. We had one kid, and this was really cool.
This was cool.
He came over. He's probably about 13 years old. He wasn't really sure if he wanted to buy the comic, but his parents thought it looked cool, so they bought him the first issue. And he said he was going to read it during lunch, and he went, read it during lunch, and a few hours later he came back and he bought the rest of the issues from us with his own money because he liked it so much. And that was pretty awesome because we're like, wow, that's total validation right there that what the comics I've been making and what we're doing is good. When you got a 13-year-old kid who like picks up the comic, reads it, and then comes back and spends his own money on it, that's totally awesome,
yeah,
man.
It does not get better than that.
Yeah.
There's no higher compliment.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. And there was a lot of kids that wanted our comic, but their parents wouldn't buy it for them.
Yeah,
Dead serious. There was even one guy who was like, he was interested in my comic, and it was, and
Two of his kids wanted his comic.
Yeah, there was one guy where I was actually, 2 of his kids wanted his comic, he wouldn't buy it for him. There was one guy where I was trying to talk him into buying my comic, and he was way into it. And while I'm trying to talk him into it, his wife was trying to talk him out of it. Luckily, I won that battle, and he walked away with my comic. But man, I was like, wow, it's like $5 for a comic, but it was a lot of hard sales. But fortunately, we were able to get some of the sales. And I'm hoping the next time we do a comic, maybe it won't be like quite such a tough crowd. Maybe people will be more interested to try stuff out, that they came there to actually spend a little money. Because that's what I did when I went to a Comic-Con as a kid. I usually had saved my money up for several weeks to several months for it. And then I would go and I would look for cool stuff that you can't normally find or normally get other places. That's one of the things that's so fun about going to these conventions, is you never know like what gems you might come across or you might find there. But not everybody thinks the way that I do, the way we do.
The real challenge was getting people to touch the comic book and look at it, and get them, like once they had touched it, seen the art, and known that, this was, all Sam's art, and, his baby, that, like, we weren't just selling some lame-ass comic.
Yeah, I did this stuff, yeah.
Like, this was us. Like, we were starting it, we were out there, we were entrepreneuring it.
Yeah, then people were like, they were happy to buy one. Actually, they were like, you could tell they walked away from the table having bought my comic, feeling good about that transaction. That they did that, and they got something cool for it. I made sure I did cool little sketches in everybody's book.
Dude, a lot of those people got so excited when they got those cool sketches.
Yeah. So
because you put on there Palm Springs 16, like.
Yeah, signed my name, wrote Palm Springs 16, everything. So it was a lot of fun. Definitely a challenge. We've got a list of things we're going to try and do different the next time to make it even more successful. So that's basically it for this one. So the next one we're going to do is going to be in October. We're going to be at Stanley's Comic Kazi in LA. And we'll see how it goes.